around 8:45, we saw a plane overhead appearing to be heading south, and at around 9:10, one of our team witnessed a fighter jet, fall out of the sky in flames. We have since then spoken to an opposition fighter who has told us that that was one of their own aircraft that they were sending out to try to bring a stop to Gaddafi's military assault.
Libya is not yours. Libya is for all Libyans. The resolutions of the Security Council are invalid.
They tried to enter the city yesterday and the day before yesterday, and they were pushed back by our fighters, and now they started terrorizing the people on the outskirts and shelling, really heavy shelling.
Participants agreed to use all the necessary means, in particular military means, to enforce the Security Council decisions.
Yesterday, the international community demanded an immediate ceasefire in Libya, including an end to all attacks against civilians. Today, Secretary Clinton joined an international coalition of our European and Arab partners in Paris to discuss how we will enforce UN Security Council Resolution 1973.
This is a broad international effort. The world will not sit idly by while more innocent civilians are killed.
It is legal because we have the backing of the United Nations Security Council and also of the Arab League and many others. And it is right because I believe we should not stand aside while this dictator murders his own people.
Today, I authorized the Armed Forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya in support of an international effort to protect Libyan civilians. That action has now begun.
Over 110 Tomahawk cruise missiles fired from both U.S. and British ships and submarines struck more than 20 integrated air defense systems and other air defense facilities ashore.
I tried to run up to the roof, and then I saw the second explosion. I saw a huge fire coming up from that place, and there was a lot of noise, and I can hear some shooting. I can't determine whether it's an anti-aircraft shooting or gunfire shooting. It was very severe, very heavy.
That's the sounds of heavy anti-aircraft gunfire erupting over the city of Tripoli here. We heard it sporadically several hours ago. Now hearing it much more in a much more sustained fashion. Hearing the loud gunfire and explosions. That gunfire came after we heard several loud explosions here. It is in the city now about 2:35 in the morning. That heavy anti-aircraft gunfire seems to be subsiding at the moment.
Libya will exercise its right to defend itself according to Section 1 of the United Nations Charter, that all targets, maritime targets, will be exposed to real danger in the Mediterranean, where the Mediterranean and North Africa, because of this aggression, naked aggression.
We're around 20 miles outside of Benghazi on the road that leads to Ajdabia, and we are standing in the middle of a military vehicle graveyard. This, eyewitnesses are telling us, is a result of airstrikes that took place by foreign fighter jets early this morning. The debris stretches for as far as the eye can see. Most of the vehicles are still smoldering, ranging from tanks with their turrets blown off to overturned military trucks, heavy armored vehicles, SUVs that Gaddafi's army, eyewitnesses are telling us, had been using to try to advance on Benghazi. They have this message for foreign powers, and that is thank you. And they also want the world to know, despite whatever propaganda they say Gaddafi is putting out, that these airstrikes and other missile strikes are hitting civilian locations. This one, they say, was right on target.
We've worked hard to both plan this in a relatively short period of time, and I would say that the no-fly zone is effectively in place. So from that standpoint, the initial operations have been very effective.
We promise you a long-drawn war and patience that has no limit, and belief, deep belief. We are not disturbed. We are not worried. We are not afraid.